In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the Hippocamp is described as equine in nature, with a head and front legs similar to that of a horse. The rest of their body is covered in fish-like scales and fins for better maneuvering in deep oceans, and their hindquarters sport a long and powerful fish tail in lieu of legs. They're known as powerful and strong-willed creatures that travel in herds, but when tamed they can become the most loyal and noble of steeds for those heroes who venture into the depths of the sea. Tritons in particular are drawn to these steeds, and the Hippocamp holds a place of respect and value within most Triton societies. The Hippocamp has an AC of 13 and 22 HP with a swim speed of 50 and a walk speed of 20. They have decent stats except for their intelligence and charisma, like most bestial creatures, and are resistant to cold damage. They have the amphibious trait allowing them to breathe on land and in water, as well as the charge trait in which if they travel at least 20 feet towards a target before striking, the attack deals an additional 2 to 12 damage and procs a DC 12 strength save against being knocked prone. In combat, the Hippocamp can attack with their hooves or their ram ability. The hooves deal 4 to 14 damage and the ram deals 3 to 8. However, with the charge trait activated, the ram instead does 5 to 20 damage and includes the strength save. As a DM, I would use the Hippocamp as a mount for my players. However, I would likely make them earn such a mount. Feats of strength and prowess are standard in Greek mythology, and the same is true in Theros. As part of a Triton-focused campaign or section of a campaign, I would have my players try to earn the right to ride a Hippocamp by having them fight a group of them in non-lethal combat at a much lower level. I'd have the Hippocamps initiate combat with a charge straight at their targets, dealing a lot of damage in one hit, especially to lower level characters. From there, I would use their hooves each turn, as the Hippocamp are none too bright, and will likely stand still and kick, or they might try to do a charge on another target, taking opportunity attacks all the while. In mythology, the Hippocamp is a creature that appears in Phoenician, Etruscan, Pictish, Roman, and Greek mythology, although its main origins are with the Greeks. In most cultures, the name for the Hippocamp loosely translates to seahorse or equine of the ocean, and is almost always depicted as a creature with the upper half of a horse and the lower half of a fish. In several cultures, sea gods and their servants use the Hippocamp as mounts, but in the original Grecian myth, it is the sea god Poseidon's great chariot pulled by the Hippocampi that start the tale. Many ancient stories tell of Poseidon's two-hooved horses that thunder across the ocean floor, pulling his chariot up onto the Libyan sands for battle. An interesting side note is that due to the ancient Greeks' hydrological cycle not including rainwater, they believed that water in lakes, rivers, and so forth were simply, quote, ocean water that had oozed into the land, and therefore were also under the domain of Poseidon and other minor gods that served beneath him. Due to this, we have evidence of the Hippocamp in temples both by the ocean and in inland bodies of water. As another side note, the myth of the Hippocamp was a popular one with the ancient Picts, who eventually joined the kingdom of Alba, whose people were the Gaels. The Pict Gaels and Alba became Scotland, where a popular Celtic or Gaelic myth about a horse made of reeds is still used in horror and fairy tales today, the Kelpies, which were our first ever minute mythology. In comparing the monster to the myth, we find that like most Therosian creatures, the Hippocamp has been lifted directly from Greek myth to become another interesting addition to D&D. If you enjoyed that video, please leave a like and comment below, and consider subscribing to the channel. You can also join the Patreon for $1 a month to access videos days before they're posted here, as well as other exclusive stuff like short stories, videos, and more.